Here's everything you need to know about the craziest trade in NBA history. Luka Doncic was drafted by the Hawks in 2018, but he was traded to the Dallas Mavericks on draft night. Luka is one of those talents that franchises dream of having on their team. And to make matters better, Luka loved Dallas. There were never rumblings that he wanted to go to a different city like LA like a lot of superstars. No, he was truly really happy there and the fans adored him. Last season, Luka led the Mavs to the NBA Finals at 25 years old. There are maybe 3 untradeable players in the league. Luka's one of them. Saturday night, just after midnight, the entire world was shook when we got a notification that Luka was being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, and there's some other stuff in the trade, but that's what you need to know. People were so shocked that they thought he was hacked. Shams, the guy who broke the news himself, literally had to tweet, "Yes, this is real." Hey, what skeletons does Luka have in his closet? He needed to commit a federal crime for them to trade him. But then the reports that start to leak are just talking about concerns over his conditioning, saying that he's not at the weight they want him to be, and that they're worried about giving him a max contract. It traded a once-in-a-generation, a transcendent superstar who was 25 years old and just led them to the NBA Finals because he was a little pudgy. Luka could be shotgunning a beer every morning and chasing it with the Panera lemonade, and you still don't trade him. And what makes it also crazy is that the player they traded him for, Anthony Davis, who's 31, also has history with injuries. I've seen a lot of people try to do pop culture references to explain this to people who might not follow the NBA. A report comes out that Luka is stunned. He unfollows the Mavs on Instagram. Meanwhile, Mavs fans are in shambles. They are literally protesting in the streets in front of the arena. They're holding coffins to signify his funeral. It's a really sad, dramatic sight. So how did they trade Luka? Mark Cuban once said that he had to choose between keeping Luka on the Mavs and divorcing his wife, catch him in the lawyer's office drawing up the papers. But the thing is, Mark Cuban hasn't been calling the shots for a few years now. It's actually a guy named Nico Harrison, aka Public Enemy #1 in Dallas. It seems like Nico Harrison has had this weird evil master plan to get rid of Luka for a while now. He was firing people that Luka loved, and the way he executed it is just insanity. Okay, you don't trade Luka, but if you do, you shop him. Teams will give you everything. But instead he put on his cloak and slithered out in the dead of night and met Rob Pelinka in the town square and said, "Hey, you want Luka?" Rob Pelinka laughed in his face. And Nico admitted this. It was so absurd that Rob Pelinka thought he was joking. And when he speaks to the media for the first time, he's cracking jokes and laughing like a freaking comic book villain. He's sitting next to Jason Kidd, who he says had no idea. And Jason Kidd looks like he's being held hostage. These fans feel like they just got their hearts ripped out. And he's like, "You'll forgive me if we win a championship. And in 10 years, I'll be dead or buried anyway."